we are tracking our next round of snow here in southeast Michigan. I am meteorologist Marisa Woloszyn here with a look at your forecast and what we can expect as we move into your Monday night. We are looking at a storm system on the way. It is going to bring us snow. Thankfully, it's not going to bring us as much snow as what we saw this past weekend, and it's also going to fall during a time where hopefully a lot of us are just at home. So let's take a look at that system again and kind of what we can expect. So you can see the storm system itself. It is out there. It is bringing snow now to southern Wisconsin, all the way down to Missouri, and even back towards Oklahoma. So this is moving in our direction, a similar track to the storm that came through this weekend, but it is going to be a more southerly route as it goes across the region. It's going to stay to our south, is what we're talking about there. So again, snow showers are just arriving into the western corner of our state, southwestern corner there. We will see snow continue to pick up as we move through this evening. First flakes maybe around 8, but really not picking up, more so until after about 10 o'clock as we get into tonight. So I'm going to show you our future cast and what you can look at as we again move into this evening. Evening commute's going to be fine. Also, if you have to go anywhere after the evening commute, maybe you're taking your kids to a practice or something, road conditions will be fine. It's once you get later into tonight where it starts to get a little bit more dicey. So again, closer to about 10 o'clock or so, we'll start to see the snow pick up. Then we get into the overnight hours. We will have some snow showers continuing across the area. But if you note here, we're not looking at as widespread of snow that we had like this past weekend. And there's also more of a southerly focused with the snow here. We will see some snow north, just not as much across the area. This will definitely be a storm that impacts people more south than it does to the north. All right, we continue throughout your early morning hours of Tuesday, getting to the very start of the morning commute. We'll have a couple of snow showers still lingering by 4 a.m., but honestly, the snow should be done around about 5 o'clock or so. So the later we go throughout the commute, the better the conditions will be. So thankfully, this snow will be falling between about 10 p.m. and then about 5 a.m. Tuesday morning. So we should be missing the commutes. With that said, though, the temperatures are going to be pretty cold, and this is likely going to be a lighter snow. So there's definitely still going to be some slick spots Tuesday morning, especially on any untreated surface. So keep that in mind for your travel, though hopefully most of the highways are just fine, as road crews should be out salting and de-icing too as the system after the snow goes through. But let's take a look at snowfall totals. Well, actually, yeah, let's go take a look at snowfall totals first compared to what we saw this past weekend. So again, this will be a system that has higher totals south than north, a trace mainly north of M59. So a few flurries, maybe some minor accumulation on the grass, some trees, but I really don't expect much north of M59. South of that, though, and north of I-94, we're looking at about an inch of snow. So that is enough to create some slippery conditions. So if you're coming back late tonight or you're leaving somewhere early tomorrow morning, that is enough to create, again, some slick conditions on roadways or even sidewalks and steps. That's what we always kind of forget about. We're like so worried about getting in the car and driving, but then you kind of forget about your deck may be slippery or your porch as well, your steps. So keep that in mind. Then we get farther to the south, south of 94. We're looking about 1 to 2 inches of some snow. That 2 inches and maybe a couple pockets of slightly higher are possible. Monroe south towards Toledo if we get a little bit of some more moisture there. But right now it's looking more like 1 to 2 inches of snow. Also not a crazy amount, but still just enough to create some slippery conditions across the area. So again, overnight, if you're going anywhere, be concerned for some slippery driving conditions. There's only so many road crews that are going to be out. They can only hit so many roads at a time, so that's when we are looking at, again, some slippery spots. We had a lot of spinouts Saturday night just as the snow was starting, so just a great reminder of it doesn't take much. That was just at the start of the event on Saturday night that we had everyone slipping and sliding, so it doesn't take much. So we could see that overnight tonight. The morning commute, some slippery areas, especially south. Again, that's where our totals will be a little bit more, so better chance to have some slick driving conditions. And then by the afternoon, and honestly even by the lunch hour and maybe even by mid-morning, we should be fine. Back to normal, kind of winter driving, which means you do still have snow on the side of the roads. And then also looking at some patches of ice. We had quite a bit of patchy ice this morning because of some of the snow melting, and then now we have cold air in place. So that can definitely, again, lead to some icy spots. So that ice likely not really going to go much of anywhere either, just because our temperatures are so cold for this entire week. It's going to be a struggle to make it up to the freezing mark this entire week. You heard that right. Our highs are going to be mainly in the near 30 degrees or so through Wednesday, just making sure I'm getting my numbers down right. And then even Thursday and Friday, sorry, I should say, will be near 30 through Wednesday. And then Thursday, highs are going to be likely in the low to mid 20s. And then Friday, highs are going to be in the mid to upper 20s. So overall, those are going to be our two coldest days. And then also temperatures at night are going to be cold. We're talking teens many mornings. And then our coldest morning is going to be Friday morning, where the actual air temperatures will likely be in single digits to up to about 10 or 11 degrees. So cold overall, and maybe also be a little bit breezy that day. We'll have to see if we get that, because that would lead to colder wind chills too. So colder temperatures are coming, but again, a quick update on the snow. We do have our next storm system coming in from the southwest. It is going to impact locations mainly farther south of us, and then actually more towards the east coast, but it will bring us more of, like, I would say, disruptive snow. So the snow that causes problems, especially if you're driving anywhere. Otherwise, you will be just fine. We're just starting to see it edge here into the southwestern corner of our state. We are going to, again, continue to see the snow increase. We'll start to probably see our first flakes around about 8 o'clock or so. Definitely sooner the farther southwest that you live than to the north. Snow will pick up more so closer to 10 o'clock, and then we'll continue to see those showers overnight tonight into the early morning commute, wrapping up around about 5 o'clock in the morning. And then for most of the morning commute, it's just kind of dealing with what the snow has left behind. So just the slick driving conditions on any untreated surface. So thankfully there's going to be road crews out there. They're going to be salting, plowing if they need to, but with the totals, we really shouldn't see too much of a need for that, hopefully. But I want to go through the rest of the day too. Tuesday, we'll actually get to some nice sunshine as we get to the middle part of the day. It looks like we get some drier weather in place before clouds kind of filter back in towards the evening of Tuesday. So that sunshine will also help make conditions a little better, even if our temperatures stay at about freezing. The sunshine will help warm some of the snow that falls. Again, a quick look at your totals expected, not as much as what we saw with the first system. So overall, we'll see likely about an inch about the southern half of our region. Farther to the north, the farther north you get, the lighter it will be, a trace at best, though there will be even some spots that only see some flurries, and that's about it. The majority of us are looking at about an inch, and then the farther south that you go, so like I-94 south towards the state line, it'll be about 1 to 2 inches of some snow there, and maybe a pocket or two of just a little bit over 2 inches, so keeping that in mind. But again, creating slippery driving conditions. The timing as of now, 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. with the snow, and then we'll see how that could impact the morning commute. I think that would be the biggest concern with this system, would just be some slippery driving conditions, but you shouldn't have to drive through the snow. It's just on any road surface that hasn't been treated. So hopefully that provides some clarity. If you guys have any questions, of course, you can continue to get more information here, but also Dave will be in for the rest of the night tonight, keeping you forecasted on it, so you can tune into channel 7 or TV 20, and then also Hallie will be in the morning on Tuesday, and she will get you out the door early and get you out the door safely and help you prepare, let you know of any slippery spots that we may have, of course, alley 2 in traffic, but looking at all of that information kind of coming together. So hopefully that helps you out. Again, not too bad of conditions, but just enough that you should be weary if you are traveling out and about late this evening and then potentially early tomorrow morning. I'm going to leave those snowfall totals up there so you can see them. And then aside from that, again, if you have any questions, just let us know. But otherwise, have a great rest of your Monday. Stay warm if you can. It's going to be so cold for the rest of this week. Winter is definitely here. It's going to be a struggle to get above the freezing mark, but do what you can to stay warm. Also check on your neighbors and friends and make sure that they're warm too.